Gravel-Lok is a polyurethane-based liquid binder that is designed to bond gravel together. The bonded gravel creates a strong walkable surface which also allows water to flow through. The information in this video applies to non-vehicular surfaces only. Gravel-Lok can also be used for residential driveways. Please call for additional details on vehicular surface applications. Gravel-Lok can be installed by either pouring the liquid onto pebbles or by mixing it with the pebbles and troweling them out. The mix method is preferred as it allows the binder to cover the pebbles entirely, creating a stronger bond while potentially requiring less liquid. The pour method is less efficient than the mix method, but can be applied directly to the pebbles without removal from the installation area. The pour method requires that your pebbles have a minimum depth of 5 inches. When using the pour method on installations with less than 5 inches in total depth, you should perform 1 to 2 light pours, and then 1 to 3 roll coats based on how much liquid is able to bond the top 2 inches of pebbles. It is very important to apply light layers each time to prevent puddling, as Gravel-Lok expands during the 24-hour curing process. First, wash the pebbles in a wheelbarrow or cement mixer to ensure that all dirt, dust, and sand has been removed from the rocks that allow the pebbles to dry. Next, mix the Gravel-Lok liquid with the pebbles according to the ratio detailed in the coverage guide. Next, pour out a small amount of the mixed gravel and spread into the installation area. Level and trowel the gravel to a smooth finish. When finished, allow the area to cure for 24 hours. After the area has cured, apply a roll coat to replenish liquid that has dripped down due to gravity during the cure time. Level out the pebbles to be bonded with a trowel. Next, using a hose, wash the pebbles in place to help remove as much sand, dirt, and dust as possible. Allow the pebbles to dry. Purchase a plastic watering can and enlarge the holes in the spout if necessary. Fill the plastic watering can with Gravel-Lok and sprinkle the liquid over the pebbles. After you have applied the liquid to the gravel, allow the area to cure for 24 hours. To create the most stable surface, consider doing a second pour 24 hours after the first. After doing the final pour, wait 24 hours and then apply a roll coat. In general, it is recommended that 1 to 3 roll coats are applied to the area to provide maximum longevity for the surface. Be sure to wait 24 hours between roll coats. Before installing Gravel-Lok, be sure to refer to the detailed instructions on the actual Gravel-Lok container. This video is simply an overview, and it is not an installation guide. If you begin to see a white foam while you are installing or during the 24-hour cure period, it is a sign that you are using too much liquid, and it is puddling. If foaming occurs, crush the foam and use a sponge or brush to try to soak up any excess material. Any foam that is not removed and allowed to cure will need to be chiseled out and that area redone. To prevent this, reduce the amount of Gravel-Lok on your next mix or pour. We often say you can always apply more liquid if needed. You can't remove excess liquid if you use too much. Yes, laying asphalt or concrete is going to be less expensive than Gravel-Lok in most cases. However, Gravel-Lok provides a more attractive look, is easier to install with pebbles, and is permeable where concrete and asphalt are not. Clear Gravel-Lok includes a UV inhibitor, which keeps the liquid from yellowing from UV exposure over time. Over time, the amber Gravel-Lok will be affected by sunlight exposure and will turn yellow in color. Refer to the Gravel-Lok calculator or the coverage guide, which are both located on the product page. For the mix method, you should go at least 3 pebbles in height, so if your pebbles are a ½ inch in size, you should go at least 1.5 inches thick. For the pour method, you should have at least 5 inches in total depth, but only the top 1 to 2 inches needs to be decorative gravel. Below that can be a different base gravel. Shallow installations are possible. With great care to avoid puddling, you would need to apply it very lightly, allow it to cure, then reapply lightly. The installation may require multiple roll coats as well, to seal just the top layer and prevent puddling. Gravel-Lok can be applied to pebbles that are anywhere from 1/8 inch to 2.5 inches in size. However, if the installation area will experience foot traffic, then it is recommended to use a smaller angular stone, 1/8 inch to 3/8 inch, to provide an even walking surface. Take the time to trowel it to a smooth surface. For ADA compliance, use pebbles which are 1/8 inch to 1/2 inch in size. Avoid pebbles that fracture easily, as they will get crushed and break apart too easily. The lifespan of the bonded gravel will vary depending on a number of factors, including the amount of foot traffic, stability of soil below, and rainfall. Typically, most customers will patch any divots that have formed and apply an additional roll coat between 2 to 7 years post-installation. Because driveways are subject to significant downward pressure on a regular basis, a greater percentage of pebbles are going to come loose. For these type of installations, please give us a call to discuss your project prior to placing your order. Yes, Gravel-Lok can be used between Flagstone. However, it is recommended that the gravel is removed and washed prior to installation. The mix method is the most appropriate for this type of installation. To calculate the amount that you will need for this type of installation, you will need to add up all of the area between your flagstone in square inches, then convert to square footage by dividing the square inches by 144. If the pebbles are already in place, the pour method is also possible, but will require more care at applying lightly and with multiple pours. In either case, you want to avoid getting Gravel-Lok on your flagstone. It is not a sealer, and it will make them slippery. If you do accidentally spill Gravel-Lok on the flagstone, you can use acetone right away to clean off the Gravel-Lok liquid from the flagstone. We have a Gravel-Lok calculator on each product page, where you can enter the area of your project, and it will advise how much Gravel-Lok you will need. The Gravel-Lok calculator is located on the product page. The area is typically not slippery, but if additional traction is desired, a light dusting of sand can be hand applied on the surface before the roll coat dries to provide additional slip protection. The mix method is the preferred choice, as it allows for the gravel to be completely coated. Where one stone touches another, there is a bond, which ultimately yields a more consistent result. Additionally, the mix method potentially uses less liquid overall than the pour method, which ultimately saves on material cost. Yes, the rocks do need to be cleaned before applying Gravel-Lok. There is only a bond where the rocks touch each other. Sand, dust, and other fines will prevent the rocks from touching and ultimately bonding together. Allow the area to cure for 24 hours in between roll coat applications. If white foam appears after drying, the only way to remove it is to chisel it out. For this reason, be very conservative with the amount of Gravel-Lok liquid you are using when applying roll coats. Like paint, it is better to apply lightly and do multiple layers, allowing it to cure in between. There is no benefit to applying it in a thick layer. It will cause foaming. Be very careful where you set your roller down. Liquid will drip off it and cause that area to have too much liquid, resulting in a whitish, foamy appearance. No, do not apply Gravel-Lok to pavers. It will make your pavers slick. If you happen to spill or drip Gravel-Lok on your pavers, be sure to clean it up right away with acetone. Typically, you have time since it takes 24 hours to fully cure. Still, we recommend working in small batches. The higher the temperature in your installation area, the less time you will have before it hardens. For optimal preservation, Gravel-Lok should be stored at room temperature. Installation can take place in temperatures of 50 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Do not install Gravel-Lok if it is going to drop below 50 degrees Fahrenheit during a 12-hour period after installation. Do not install if rain is expected within 12 hours. Do not cover with plastic. This will trap in moisture and will cause the Gravel-Lok to cure improperly.